Yesterday, got the rack and pinion in place. We made the clamps to hold the rack and pinion. I did not make the mounts for the rack and pinion. The clamps that I made, I will try to buy them new. Makes sense just to buy them new because they'll fit and we'll get the rubber with it. And I think it's an easy purchase, and it's just probably the easiest thing to do. But as I made those clamps to hold it there, now I know where the rack is. And the main thing is to know where to make the mount. Right now I want to make the mount so I can mount the rack and pinion. What I have done, you can come on over and take a look. I've taken some square tubing, I've cut it off like that. I cut it off with that length. I 45'd it like that. Cut that off, so I have this piece right here. I drilled a hole in here. The bolt goes through there and bolted on the back side. As you come underneath the front, you'll take a look here, and you can see how I've made a mount for the bracket that I made yesterday, the clamp, to hold it on. So originally, it must have did the exact same thing. So now when I buy the originals, I can come in here and I can bolt it right to the mounts that I made. And I know that the mounts are okay and right is because when I got the rack on here, the distance of this arm can go all the way up. It does not hit anything. I can get my fingers in between the chassis and the rubber. It goes all the way down. It does not affect anything. I have done them before where I've picked up a rack and not known. It's too narrow, and when the arm comes up, you'll hit your chassis sometimes if you're running an air ride or anything like that. That's not good. This rack fits this car perfectly. The spindle is going to be turned around, so this arm here goes in the back, and that's where my tie rod end will hook on. And you can see, as level as this arm is and this is, the tie rod is going to come up from the underneath and fit in perfect. Like it's at the right distance. Same as this side. It does not hit the chassis when it goes all the way up. So when I run it full up or down, it does not hit the chassis. And it goes all the way down. We got a nice level going across to fit this arm. If you can picture it, that's going on that arm with a tie rod end up through. So that seems to be really good. That will be welded on harder when the body comes off and we get to see it a lot better. I'm just making mounts right now because this is the time, and when I mount it, I know for sure that it's going to fit. You can say that I'm building it backwards, but to be honest with you, I'm probably building it faster than the conventional way, because when I take the body off, not everything will be done, but everything will fit. Everything will fit. There's no mistake in it because I've built it together to fit. So as I got that mounted on there, I'm very happy with that. And like I said before, I'll probably go and see what the price is for the new original clamps on that rack and pinion because it works out so well. And as I was talking yesterday, we'll go with this first. Yesterday, this is what you call a double D shaft. It has a little pinch nut there. Lost that one. I just taped it on for now because it just slides in there. It's a double D shaft. It's a square shaft like that. You can buy it at probably any hot rod shop. And what happens is a steering linkage. This universal joint will go down to the rack. Well, not this one because it's a double D shaft. I will have to get one with the right spline. And how I'll count that spline is I'll take a marker and go around that and then put a piece of paper on or a piece of tape or something. Anyways, the universal joint goes on the rack like that, and there's my steering column coming out of my dash, so I should be fine. It misses the motor mount. It gives me enough room probably for my alternator. It's in place, and I'm very happy with that. The steering is in place. As I got that running through there, I've got it tied up in the right place on the brake pedal. It looks very nice. Looks good when it comes out of the car. And that steering column, I'll do an I did it. It's like a $129 or something like that. And we have to pay a little bit more because our dollar. But there'll be another double D shaft on this end to go on the end of the steering column. So as you see that, and I show you that, you can also get these balls here, which your steering column goes through, and as you can see, it can swivel. When I take this out, I know where to mount this when it comes time to take the body off the chassis. I know exactly where to mount it because the hole's right there and it works. And what I'll do is I'll just center it up, center it in this piece right here. I'll plunk it in there and I'll draw the hole around it, drill my holes, and I know it will fit because I've mocked it up. I know it's going to go. The steering column coming underneath the dash. I know where that's going because of the hole, and we're happy with it. So we're cruising right along, really. We're cruising right along. So right now the motor's in, the transmission's in. I haven't got the transmission mount made yet because I want to take it off. And before I take the body off, I'm going to center it in there where it looks the best to me and just put a little tape on it so I'll know where I want it and where I don't want it. We've got the motor in, the transmission in, the brakes are in, the rack is in. And what I say by in is that we have it mocked up so we know it will fit. That's what I'm saying. So when the body comes off, we can finish it. We're nowhere near finish yet. We just know where everything goes. Right now, I've got some brakes out. John give us. Wow, John, thanks very much, John. Probably, yeah. Right now, so we have some rotors and some backing plates and some calipers. I've just taken notice. We've never looked at them really before, but they're 4-piston calipers. That's awesome. You know, it's going to have quite a brake system for that little car. This is the brake system we're putting on. It has a 65, it's probably a 65 Mustang control arms on it right now, and I've just mocked something up to hold it in the air. I still have to have the radius bar that goes back to hooks on the side of the chassis. Still have to do that, but I know where my front end is. So this is the brakes that we're going to put on. We're 5 on 4.5, so it's a Mustang wheel. We've got the 17-inch wheels over here. We just need one more. We know we can get the trim rings and we can do something for centers, so we're good there. As I keep, as I'm just going along, the hood fits. We know the hood fits. I'm happy about that. Now I keep thinking, where am I going next? I don't really want to try to get underneath and finish anything because it's better when the body comes off and I can see it and do a real good job on it. All the corners will get rounded. All the welds will get grinded nice. That sort of stuff. Right now, I'm thinking that next video, tomorrow, we're going to jack this car in the air. I'm probably going to get Jolene to help me take the rear end out because it's, I want her to steady it while I take it out because we're going to end up taking it out. I'm going to cut them fender skirts off tomorrow. Cut them fender skirts off tomorrow. And maybe start the mounting of the rear end process and taking the body off. Because once the fender skirts are cut off and the rear end is pretty well in place where we're going to go with it, and that's probably what I'm going to do tomorrow, get that rear end in place. Maybe not. I'm going to probably just get it up, cut the rear end out of it, because I know where it's got to go. Cut the fender skirts off it, and then we'll be taking the body off. Simple as that. That's where we're going. It's going pretty quick, actually. And nothing is finished yet. When I get the body off, that's when I get to finish things and make things look really good. There's something, actually, I probably should do. The rear end kicks up quite high in this car, and I'm going to have to make somehow trailing arms on that rear end that work with this body. That's something that should be looked upon or looked at before I start taking it off. What I have here is I got something over here. I just move it the way here for a second. I had some trailing arms off the original Volvo. We'll try them on maybe, I'm not sure. They've trail arms. They almost mounted like a Chev truck, like a 60 Chev truck almost. They got the something like that they mounted. But I see what happens here when I mount that on the rear end. If you can picture it, it's on the rear end, and the rear end goes up and down. The floor comes down quite heavy, and the rear end's up inside the car quite heavy. So if you can picture it, these trailing arms probably would hit the floor. So that will be something to address. That'll be something, you know what I'm saying? That'll be something to address. I explained about this, did I not? That'll be on the firewall, and then there'll be one in the dash. So when the dash comes down, We got the dash sitting on there now, just the wood that Jeff gave us. The color that's going on there, and then it's going down. The steering column is going to go through the dash. One of these will probably be in the dash, so the steering wheel goes through this, then goes down through another one in the firewall, and then it'll be jointed there to the steering column. The brake system will be reinforced on the inside, and then it'll be attached to the dash itself. We'll attach it there too, probably, no doubt, or whatever holds the dash. And that's another thing that we'll have to do, but that can be done when the body's off. We're probably going to go down Jeff's place Friday. We are going to go down Jeff's place Friday and watch how he does that laminate of the wood. That's going to be a cool process, I think. So that's basically what's going to happen. I've been just pulling out stuff and checking it out, looking at it, making sure that I'm getting everything. As you look at the flex lines, well, you have to make brackets for flex lines too, eh? That's still stuff that has to be done. You have to make brackets. You can, go to your caliper all you want, but when you go to your chassis, you still have to make a bracket on your chassis to accept that. That's what we have to do. There's still inside sills that have to be done. When the car comes off, there's so much to be done. Tomorrow, though, we're going to jack it up and cut the fender skirts off. So grab your friends, get some popcorn, and we'll watch it. Maybe a glass of Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? But yesterday we did not finish at that. I got the mounts put in, and why I did that, Doug, my friend, put the engine on the engine stand that I'm going to use for the 40. And the 40's right in there. I know that it's got a Hemi engine in it, but it would cost me probably a lot more money than I want to spend right now on to rebuild an engine. I'd rather eat tomorrow and then starve. So I'll leave that engine alone for a while. I'm not going to I'm not going to do anything with it, but what I want is something to fit in it, and I think that will get me down the road, make me happy, get me car show to car show, or take me to town and have a coffee. That's good enough for us. I'm not into driving right fast anymore because the only thing comes from that is problems. That's all I can tell you. That's what I come from it, But whatever. As I get going on this, I got a 305 here, and I'm going to do the exact same thing I do every time. I do what I want to do, like you should do as you want to do. And that way there, you're happy. And if you do what you want to do, you're minding everybody else alone, and you're not causing any problems, and that's what should be done. Everybody should, do what they want to do, and then there would be no issues. As I have this engine, it's a 305. You can buy these faux mobile valve covers, and they go on there just like a Oldsmobile valve cover. Then you would put the Rocket 88 on this, and we're going to put these on. I think I'm going to. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to. I bought them for that, or Jolene bought them for that. So we got the faux covers. We're going to strip that down. I'm either going to put the 6-pack on it, or I'm going to put a 4-barrel on it with the original cover itself. So I've got a couple choices what I'm going to do. The engine, I think it was $100 or $100. So we got the engine. We're going to do a little test on it. Doug's going to show me how to gauge the crank bearings, and we're going to probably do a compression test and all that stuff on it to see if it's good. But we got the faux covers. Also, I can make it a 4-barrel and put the original breather on it right there. I've got the original breather and some manifolds over there to make it look old and that sort of stuff. I've got a 4-speed or an automatic I can put in it. I'll probably just put an automatic in it. I just want to drive up the road in it. That's all I want to do with it. I do not want to, other than that, I just want to drive up the road with it. That's all I want to do. But I want to look good doing it and not spend a whole bunch of money. That's what I'm after on this one. Look good doing it, not spend a whole bunch of money. The reason that I'm thinking of the Oldsmobile engine is because of the dash, the headlights, and that's what it's all about. We've taken a 40 Plymouth and we've found a 53 Oldsmobile that needed a new home because it was going down. The engine got replanted, the headlights and all that stuff, the dash and all that stuff got planted on that, and that's the way I'm going. We can paint the engine green, we can paint it gold, we can have a 6-pack on it, or we can have a 4-barrel with a nice big breather on it. And underneath the hood, when I lift it up, that will make me happy. It does not have to be exactly an Oldsmobile engine. Does not have to be that. That will make me happy. And if you are able to let stuff like that make you happy and not be so critical, just think how happy you could be. You know, just think how happy you could be. On that note, tomorrow's going to be a big day. And I want to thank everybody again for watching, like, and share. This stuff that we're posting on Facebook, or not Facebook, or on YouTube, on YouTube, is quite fun because when it's time she puts up the old phone and films us, that's what you get. You're not going to get any more live than that. You know what it is? For me to be so real and so truthful, it sets me free. I don't have to worry about a damn thing, if you know what I'm getting at. To be so real is to set you free. And that's who I am, real. Love it. Just give myself goosebumps. Have a good day, everybody.